Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we try to talk to people from across the country about things you can do in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
So it's really important to be mindful of what we're utilizing on and around our eyes.
We see a lot with our boys, the shorter sides and a little bit of length up top. A lot of texture, a lot of messiness is in style this year.
So the Winter Wear Project has been very lucky to have the NFL become a partner and been a partner for a little while now. The NFL has an amazing reach and the ability to help spread the word about mental wellness and about how individuals can find ways to get help.
All right, here is the deal. Fuel your fun. So the thing is, people think about putting on sunscreen and heading out, but they forget to snack. You've got to put a snack on board because it really will be a game changer for your energy. It's a summer essential.
All of that and more right here on New Mexico Rising. When it's hot out, the last thing most of us want is more to-dos. But there are a few small things that can make summer feel a little easier, maybe even a little more enjoyable. So lifestyle expert Christine Bibbo Herr is here with simple ideas that might help from cooling off to leveling up your space without even overthinking it. Welcome to the show, Christine. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing okay. When it's 95 degrees outside and I still feel like I need to function, what's your go-to move for staying cool and not feeling like a melted popsicle by like noon?
Absolutely. Well, hydration is key in the summer, and if you haven't jumped on the matcha train yet, now is the time. I've been obsessed with Jade Leaf's new matcha lemonade mix. It blends real Japanese matcha with lemon juice and a touch of organic cane sugar, so it's delicious and refreshing, and it gives you a light, natural energy boost that's perfect for summer. Each serving has 1/3 the amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee, and it's made with real, recognizable ingredients. So it's 60% less sugar than leading powdered lemonades with only 9 grams of added sugar. So this matcha lemonade is the ultimate summer sipper, perfect for days at the beach, on the go, or when you're just running errands. And you can grab that at jadeleafmatcha.com or Amazon, and coming soon to Target and Kroger. It's super easy to make. You just add water and shake.
I'm down with that. That sounds good. Well, everyone talks about that summer glow. But to me, I think I'm just a little shiny. What's something easy that might actually help us look refreshed without piling on all the products?
Yeah, so it's a perfect time in the summer to embrace that sun-kissed look. And one product that right now that's making waves is Carroten's Intensive Tanning Gel. So it's actually Greece's #1 tanning accelerator and just launched here in the US. It gives your skin a deep, radiant tan while hydrating it with ingredients like carrot extract, rich in beta-carotene, coconut oil, and vitamin E. And they even have a gold shimmer version with mica pearls for an instant glow that's great for vacations, pool parties, or just everyday radiance. And of course, always want to remind you to pair that with your SPF. It's available at Target stores nationwide and Carroten.com, where you can get 20% off and free shipping until August 9th.
What about inside the house? Anything we should be doing now that it's hotter out?
Yes, well, summer's a major laundry season, so you have your towels, your swimsuits, workout gear. It's all going in the wash. And then your dryer, if it's taking longer than usual or if it stops mid-cycle and your clothes are still damp, then your dryer vent might be clogged. So that's where Stanley Steemer comes in. They offer professional dryer vent cleaning that gets it done right the first time. And then when the dryer vent is clear, your dryer works more efficiently, and that means shorter drying cycles. It saves you time on laundry and especially perfect for this time of year. So you can book your cleaning easily at stanleysteemer.com and then get back to enjoying your summer.
And if we got like a little backyard or maybe a small patio to work with, what's a quick or like low budget way to upgrade it and make it feel like it's still a win, I guess?
Yeah, well, your backyard could become your own little summer retreat, and the brand Keter really shines here. They've been making great designs accessible to everyone. Their signature 8x7 gazebo adds instant shade, and it has a dual bar tabletop that's great for a surface for grill prep, serving food, or setting down drinks. And their 230-gallon deck box is great for keeping outdoor pillows, pool floats, or whatever you need organized and protected. And they're both made from durable resin, so that stands up to the elements, and it's the ultimate summer setup. You can find Keter's products on Keter.com or Amazon.
Christine, always bringing the great stuff. Where can we go for more information and learn more about some of the stuff that you mentioned?
Yes, you can head over to my website at nycpretty.com for more details on everything I mentioned today.
Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Do you ever get halfway through a hike and realize your energy has kind of disappeared? Summer is great for staying active, but if you're not feeling right, the heat and the hustle will pretty much wear you down. Dawn Jackson Blatner is a registered dietitian, certified sports nutritionist who's helped pretty much everyone from weekend warriors to World Series champs. She helps them keep their energy up and their snacks smart. So joining us today with a few fun ideas to power through pickleball, pool days, and your summer adventures without reaching for that junk food. Welcome to the show, Dawn. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Thanks so much for having me and happy summer.
All right, summertime is winding down, and I'm glad you're here today. I haven't been eating right, and I hope you can get me back on track. So what are some of the biggest nutrition myths that people tend to fall for in the summer, especially when they're trying to stay active?
Yes, here it is. Here it is. People forget to fuel their fun. So they're out at pickleball, they're doing a hike, they're doing bike riding, and all of that counts as sports. So you really need sports nutrition to fuel all of that fun and all that activity.
All right, if we're trying to keep our energy up on hot days, what nutrients do we actually need? I don't know if that's the right question.
Yes, a perfect question, perfect question. There's really 4 things that I'm always thinking about. Protein for your muscles. I'm thinking carbs for energy. I'm thinking electrolytes because we're losing that in sweat, and hydration. So I'm always trying to get those 4 things into my snacks when it comes to snacking for fitness.
All right, so what are some of your go-to snacks before and after outdoor activities? Anything that travels well for a hike or maybe a day next to the pool?
Oh my gosh, I got you. I got you. Okay, so one of my favorite fitness foods is Natural Delights Medjool dates. And here's why dates are so amazing. They're naturally energizing and they have no added sugar. They also have fiber, so the energy is like a longer lasting fuel. And they're packed with potassium. Potassium is this electrolyte that is so great for our muscles. It's great for hydration. And they taste like caramel. So it's delicious. So I always am putting the Natural Delights Medjool dates into my recipes. So like, for example, you mentioned something that travels well, right? So I take the date and I put almond butter on it with a pretzel. It is so easy. And those are called almond butter crunch dates. And why that works, the date is like this energy. It's like this long-lasting energy. And then the almond butter has a little protein. And then the pretzel is sodium, which we're losing in sweat. So that is a combination. You take 2 or 3 of these, your energy is going to be off the charts. It's great for beforehand. It's also light, so it's not going to weigh you down. But after, your body needs to really replenish and repair. So this is a caramel apple cottage cheese bowl. Cottage cheese, great for protein. Then I chop up some dates that taste like caramel and also gives us that energy back that we use being so active. A little bit of apple, a little bit of granola butter, delicious. And it's exactly what your body needs after a workout. So you have got before, you've got after, but what about an anytime treat? This, I gotta tell you, this has it covered. This is a date milk iced latte. So I take dates blended with milk and mix that with iced coffee. So it's naturally energizing, naturally sweet, and I like it just as is, but you could also put it in a popsicle mold and have a refreshing treat anytime.
You've worked with pro athletes, written bestsellers. You even won a reality show. What's one of those nutrition tips that you just always come back to?
All right, here is the deal. Fuel your fun. So the thing is, people think about putting on sunscreen and heading out, but they forget to snack. You've got to put a snack on board because it really will be a game changer for your energy. It's a summer essential. It's a summer essential.
And if somebody wants to try one of these snacks or recipes themselves, where should they go?
Okay, I love this. Please try these snacks. You are going to feel so good doing it. And so you can get Natural Delights Medjool dates on actually Amazon, or you could check out their store locator, which is at naturaldelights.com.
Dawn Jackson Blatner, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you. And, happy summer snacking. Get out there.
I'll try.
Okay.
I will try. But knowing me, I'll probably do better snacking than being healthy. I think I need to get out more.
Yeah, listen, we all start somewhere, so I appreciate that.
If your eyes feel dry or irritated more often than not, it's probably not just allergies or lack of sleep. Between constant screen time and the stuff we put on our faces every day, dry eyes is way more common than most people realize. So joining us with some things to look out for and what actually helps is Dr. Selina McGee, optometrist and founder of Bespoke Vision in Oklahoma. Hey there, Dr. McGee, how are you?
Doing well, Dan. Thank you for having me.
All right, for somebody like me who isn't actually paying attention, what are some early signs your eyes might need some additional care?
Yes. So let's talk about 3 warning signs. The first one that I like to teach people is we shouldn't be aware of our eyes. So if you have any kind of feeling or sensation, examples of that would be my eyes feel dry, they feel gritty, they have a foreign body sensation, they itch, they burn, they ironically water. Those are all warning signs for dry eye. A second one is redness in our eyes. So if we're reaching for redness reducing drops, that's a warning sign, because if we have redness, that equals inflammation. That's a bigger problem. That's not normal. And then third is if our vision fluctuates. And so our vision can change from moment to moment, day to day when we have dry eye disease. And so those 3 warning signs show that we have a bigger problem. We need to investigate that.
All right, we're all glued to phones and laptops. How much does that really mess with our eyes?
Absolutely. And you're right. Glued is a good word. And it's usually, one screen, television, laptop in our laps, phone beside us, right? And so that's the world we live in. But what happens is with that screen time, we reduce how many times we blink. And why that matters is when you go from 20 blinks a minute down to 7, you can imagine that front surface dries out that much faster because you're not blinking often enough to move that tear film around. So that's why screen time can really play a big role in dry eye disease.
I didn't expect this one, but how are beauty products and skincare part of the problem?
Sure. And I think it does surprise a lot of people, just like you, Dan. When you think about cosmetics and how we take that off and the creams that we use around our eyes, ingredients really matter. And because that's so close to that delicate tissue, there are lots of ingredients that are actually very harmful to the front surface of the eye that can certainly exacerbate our dry eye and cause dry eye disease, sabotage our best efforts to help address that. So it's really important to be mindful of what we're utilizing on and around our eyes.
So once somebody realizes this is an issue, what are some of the options that actually work?
Let's keep it simple. So when we look at things, look for products that are preservative free. And there are 2 great products that I like that I want to give you guys to be able to simplify your lives. And they're both made by Optace Life. One is a eye makeup remover. So it's super important to get your makeup off every night. And I like it because, again, it's preservative free. There's only 7 ingredients in it. It doesn't leave behind surfactants that are going to cause and irritate your eyes more. The second one that I really like is the same Optace Life line, but it's an eye cream that's hydrating. And because our skin around our eyes is thinner, it dries out faster. So I love that hydration and giving people something when they have that tight feeling that can be very helpful. I mean, you're in Albuquerque, it's really dry there. And so having something that, again, can simplify our routines, very helpful.
And where can people go to learn more about how to manage or treat their dry eyes?
Visit optace.com and, of course, visit your eye doctor to learn more.
Thanks for joining us this morning, Doctor.
I appreciate it, Dan. Thank you.
We hear a lot about staying strong, but being strong also means knowing when to get help. Right now, the NFL and Wounded Warrior Project are teaming up to support veterans with their mental health. With us today are Morgan Fox, who plays with the Atlanta Falcons, and his dad, Joe Fox, an Army veteran and leader with WWP. Hey guys, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Joe, what are some of the biggest struggles veterans face with mental health when they come home?
Yeah, veterans can face a host of mental health challenges when they get back. Some to include post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, loss of identity, loss of purpose, and one that we see a lot of lately is isolation and being alone.
Morgan, what was your childhood like being raised in a military household?
You move around a lot. That's something that you definitely deal with. But it's an interesting life in the fact that you have a parent who could leave in the middle of the night because they're going on a year-long deployment, and then they come back and something's just a little different, whether it's emotional, mentally, or physically. So it's something growing up that you're always wondering, like, what's going on, why, what is affecting my loved one in this way.
Joe, what is Wounded Warrior Project's role when it comes to helping veterans heal?
Yeah, so Wounded Warrior Project's mission is to honor and empower our nation's warriors, and specifically post 9/11 veterans. And so the role that they like to take a lead in is through mental wellness and a host of other programs. Mental wellness is a big priority in trying to make sure that our veterans and warriors have the resources they need to be able to heal. One of those such programs is Project Odyssey, which is a 12-week program that is launched by a 5-day in-person workshop. On the workshop, you're going to learn to improve your resiliency and psychological well-being. And through learning positive coping skills to help you battle some of the issues that PTSD, military sexual trauma, or traumatic brain injuries can arrive in your life.
Can you explain how the NFL is getting involved in all this? What does that partnership look like?
Yeah, so the Wounded Warrior Project has been very lucky to have the NFL become a partner and been a partner for a little while now. The NFL has an amazing reach and the ability to help spread the word about mental wellness and about how individuals can find ways to get help. Not only that, but the NFL offers through Salute to Service the opportunity for players like Morgan to be able to get involved at their local level and be able to provide support to warriors in their local community. And so it's really, really awesome to be able to see players like Morgan be able to reach out and try to learn more and find out ways that they can support. The NFL provides resources that help keep programming 100% free for all of the veterans and warriors that are signed up with Wounded Warrior Project and their family support members.
Morgan, you recently went to a WWP event. What did you learn from spending time with the veterans?
It was an incredible event, and watching all these veterans come from across the country together over the course of a week and really grow together. But I really learned a lot about mindfulness. I learned a lot about just breathing techniques and kind of a way to build an escape from this hole that we all kind of dig ourselves into sometimes. Whether you have a bad day or something goes on, I think that you learn these skills being in these introductions to the Project Odyssey that help you cope with whatever you're going on with. And then also the biggest one I learned is that you're not alone. You're not unique to what you're going through, and that there usually is someone going through it, and to have someone to talk to is a huge step to take.
What would you say to men who are still hesitant about talking about mental health or hesitant to ask for help?
I would say that the most important thing you can do is go have that conversation. Go have a 5-10 minute conversation with a friend or a family member or a professional that can help you, identify something that's going on. And, a conversation as small as that is, or as easy as that sounds, could be the difference between, saving a life, or the alternate, and hopefully it starts this chain reaction that leads to a more positive outcome and happier quality of life at the end of the day.
For sure. And that being said, for anybody watching, where can they go if a veteran in their life needs support?
Yeah, the easiest place to go is on the internet and jump onto woundedwarriorproject.org, and you'll be able to find all the resources, programs, and availability to get signed up and be able to start attending and getting the help that you need. If you have a loved one that's in crisis right now, reach out to the crisis hotline number at 988.
Great information. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Back to school can mean big emotions, especially when kids are worried about how they look walking into that first day. But a confident cut can go a long way. Joining us with tips to make back to school hair easy for families is great clip stylist Tonee Kukura. Thanks for joining us, Tonee.
Thank you so much for having me.
We all know how hectic back to school can be. Why does it feel like such a pressure cooker for parents?
I mean, there's so much else going on as well. Parents are still working their full-time jobs, getting into the sports season, and trying to find time to shop for materials, clothes, shoes, and get haircuts. It's a chaotic season.
That it is. How much of a confidence boost does a great haircut give kids heading into a new school year?
We do see a lot of these kids, middle school and high school, that their peers' opinions really do matter. So getting them started with a fresh haircut boosts their confidence to feel good and look good, like they're walking in brand new on a first day of school.
What back to school styles are your young clients asking for this year?
We see a lot with our boys, the shorter sides and a little bit of length up top. A lot of texture, a lot of messiness is in style this year. Same with our middle to high schooler boys. They want a lot of that full unkempt texture up top, but still nice and tight sides. For our girls, of course, long lengths, some layers, some without, but everything just very clean and organized all the way through.
My son has that look heavy on top too. Got any tricks to help families? You got any tricks to help families get in and out of the salon with less fuss?
Yes, utilize Great Clip's online check-in, whether that's over a website or on our app. This is going to allow you to see how many people are ahead of you and exactly how many minutes before you're up, and you can just walk in the door with 1 or 5 kids, however many you need.
It's really helpful. And where can families go for ideas, app info, and to learn about this Chief Back to School Officer opportunity?
They can check out greatclips.com/backtoschool. This is going to introduce them to our online check-in app, as well as give everybody a chance to look at the lookbook that we have that introduces them to new trends and techniques that may be going around. And Great Clips is coming out with a new promotion. It's actually already running, but it's the Chief Back to School Officer. So parents can nominate a kid if they were very helpful during this chaotic season. Say maybe they checked in online or they helped mom and dad do some of the shopping. They can nominate them for $10,000 in money for education and free haircuts. So we highly advocate for them to check that all out.
That sounds great. Tonee, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm here with Ari Aster, director and writer of the new movie Eddington, and I'm just gonna have to tell you that I hate you. And the reason why is you put me through so much stress today watching that movie. I loved this film.
Oh, good.
It's hard to start an interview by saying I hate you and I also love the film all in the same statement.
No, that's
like,
good. That's
you set this during a really tough time in history. During COVID-19, you have a sheriff kind of struggling through a lot of personal issues while dealing with, I guess, professional issues.
yeah. Among other issues. Yeah.
And it's all set in a small New Mexico town. What brought you to focus all of that energy in a really interesting time in a small town, which shouldn't have really that big of an impact on the world, but in this movie, massive impact. What kind of put you there?
Well, I'm from New Mexico.
Yes.
I grew up here, so I wanted to make a film in New Mexico. I've wanted to for a long time, and in late spring, early summer 2020, I was here in New Mexico, and I just wanted to make a film about the environment, and I don't mean the environment in New Mexico, but rather what was happening in the country, what was happening all over the world, but just basically make a film about a bunch of people who are living on the internet and who are living in different realities. And then make a film about, what happens when these people who are not reachable to each other and they're living in separate realities, what happens when they start bumping up against each other? And what's the logic that comes out of that, right? Pushing them deeper into their paranoia and convictions, and how that, it leads to violence because there's nothing in the ether that's holding them together anymore.
I had noticed in this movie, it's probably the greatest usage of phones I've ever seen in my entire history of watching movies. It was really natural. What was your decision in doing it that way on this film?
Well, on set we were calling it "Screens the Movie," right? And so yeah, I'm glad you felt that it felt natural.
Yeah.
At the same time, I wanted them to be so pervasive that they almost became like nauseating. Like, to almost have them be to have them over time become kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's and just to foreground all of that, because I think we're living in a really weird time, and it's easy to forget that because again, all these things are so pervasive that they become ambient, and things that are obvious kind of become less so when they're ambient, right? It becomes banal. But but the way that we're living on these phones, and then what's coming with AI, already that's been kind of normalized, but it's weird. It's weird.
I totally agree with you. I like how you used it, and it was such a natural usage of the technology in it.
We need to free each other's hearts.
Your movies do have a lot of themes about generational trauma, and I've noticed that. Is there a reason, or do you have a feeling that you have to highlight some of this generational trauma in some of these films, or why it's important for you to kind of cover some of these themes in movies?
It's not as it's not so conscious as all of that. But I don't know. We've all got trauma.
We do.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there is.
It gives every character one heck of a backstory, or at least history to their story. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. And I think this film in particular is about a bunch of people who have their own histories, and they also turn to history to shore up their beliefs, whatever they are. Some of them are directly oppositional, and it's about people who are kind of lost in themselves, and they're living in their heads, and so yeah, it's I more than any other film I've made, I want this to sort of function as like a landscape, where it's Joaquin Phoenix is his character, Sheriff Joe Cross. He's the main character, but I want I wanted to pull back as far as I could and give as broad a picture of the political, ideological landscape as possible, and also but also have it be very rooted in New Mexico. It's sort of. This town, Eddington, sort of functions as a microcosm for the rest of the country, but it also sort of functions as a microcosm for the politics of New Mexico as well. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I want to thank you for making this movie. It was an incredible film. I absolutely loved it. I was stressed out from beginning to end. I'm a huge fan of Twin Peaks, so it kind of reminded me of you are? I go out to Twin Peaks up to North Bend twice a year to go visit some of their events, so it just put me into the New Mexico version of that, following the sheriff's department. Absolutely loved it, so I really want to thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
So there it is. Ari Aster, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, just email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. Go to our website, newmexicorising.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or follow us on our YouTube channel. That's @NM Rising. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that other good stuff. And until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.